This is video 4, searching in databases for articles. In video 3, we learned how to search for books on a topic. In this video, we will learn how to search for journal articles. We're going to begin with the different kinds of what's called a periodical, so we will go there now. Periodicals is a term that is used in libraries to describe a certain kind of publication. You may be asking, what is a periodical? The simple definition is a periodical is something that is published periodically. Under this definition, we have three kinds of periodicals. We have magazines, we have journals, and we have newspapers. So if you think about a magazine, it's something that's published every so often, like maybe every week, maybe every month, maybe 4 times a year. And the same with journals and newspapers. They're all published periodically, and they're not ever finished. When you publish a magazine or a journal or a newspaper, it continues to be published in different issues. Whereas a book is published and then it's done, unless you have more than one edition. But that's what the definition of a periodical is. And again, there's 3 kinds. And the kind that we're going to look at mostly is the journals. So we're going to continue on here. So this page talks about what a magazine is. And a magazine is something that is written for the general public. It has lots of pictures usually in a magazine. Stories are short. It could be written for a general audience. Lots of advertisement in a magazine. And the terminology that's used is terminology that most people can understand. So in contrast to a magazine, a scholarly or a peer-reviewed journal is, a peer-reviewed journal has articles written for professionals and scholars in a specific field. The articles tend to be long, they lack images, they have lots of charts and diagrams. The bibliography is very long in a scholarly or peer-reviewed journal. And the purpose of an article is to report the results of research. And there's a particular kind of journal that's called peer-reviewed. A peer-reviewed journal or an article is an article that is published in a journal where scholars who are peers in the field that the journal is about review the article before publication. So what's the big deal about peer review? Why use them? Peer review is a well-accepted indicator of quality scholarship. So if you use peer-reviewed journals in your research, that is a very good thing. Now we need to talk about something that you can use to find journal and magazine articles on a subject. It used to be called a periodical index when it was in paper. Now they're online and they're called databases. So these databases have lots of different journal articles in them, and you can just search for them by using key terms. To find databases that pertain to education, we can go to resources here, then online resources by subject, and then we can choose the subject. In our case, it'll be education. Here are different databases that pertain to education. We're going to be looking at them in just a minute, but we're going to start off with this database here called Academic Search Complete. What is Academic Search Complete anyway? Academic Search Complete contains full text coverage in all these different subjects: animal science, anthropology, archaeology, area studies, electrical engineering, geography, geology, history, law. And so this database is a database that's a good one to start using because there is something in here for everybody. And there's something in here for everybody because there are over 17,000 indexed and abstract journals and magazines. There's also 363 books and 27 newspapers that are in this large database. So it's a good place to start doing research. To get to Academic Search Complete, you go up here to Resources, and then we go to Online Resources A to Z, and then we click on Academic Search Complete. Now we can begin to do searching in this database. We'll type in our bullying again. And we found 15,737 results. Now, searching in this database, you can also type in more terms. So we can go up here to Advanced Search and type in a second term. We add the term children, and then we perform the search again. And now we have a little over 5,000 results. Let's take a look at some of these results here. It gives 10 results at a time. We're going to click on Next, and then we're going to click on Next one more time. And we're going to take a look here at record number 23. It has the title here, How Australian Parents of Bullied and Non-Bullied Children See Their School Responding to Bullying. Underneath that, it has the author's name. Then it has the name of the journal, Educational Review. Then it gives you the date of the issue, May 2019. Then it gives you the volume and issue number, and finally the page numbers. Underneath that, it gives the subjects that are assigned to this particular article in this database. And then finally at the bottom, it gives you the availability and request options for this article. So we can click on this, and then we find here on this page that the only way that we can get this particular article is through interlibrary loan. So if we click on this link, it'll take us to the interlibrary loan form, and we could fill it out and submit the request. So this tells us that some of the materials that are in this database, some of the journal articles, are not available unless you get them through interlibrary loan. There is a way that you can limit your results to just things that are available in full text. So we can go over here to where it says limit to, and then it says full text. So we click on the box in front of full text, and now all of the results that we have here are available in the database. So again, number one here, we have the title, and we have the authors, the name of the journal, and then finally at the bottom it says PDF full text, so we can click on that and it will bring up the full text of the article. So here it is. At this point, you have several options that you can do, and they're over here on the right side. The first thing you can do is you can print this article out if you're connected to a computer that's connected to a printer. You can also email this article to yourself or to somebody else. So to review, Academic Search Complete is a good starting point to look for journal articles because it contains some journals on most academic subjects. Now we're going to look at some more specific databases. Some of these are more specific to education. So we have one called Education Source. Education Source is a database that contains full-text coverage for more than 2,000 education journals, and it has books in there also, and also some conference papers. It has citations for 4 million articles, and the coverage goes back to 1880. The next one is ERIC. ERIC is an interesting database because it contains indexing and abstracting for more than 1,100 journals, but it also has different kinds of documents in there that you won't be able to find anyplace else. It has studies that have been done at different institutions or different schools, different kinds of conference papers, other kinds of reports and research studies that have been done that have not been published anywhere else. And so the ERIC database, you can find some unique types of resources that you can't find in other databases. To get to Education Source and ERIC, you can go up here to Resources, and then you can go to Online Resources by Subject. And then we go over here to the right, and we select the subject of education. And then we have Education Source here, and also ERIC. That's how you get to those subject-specific databases on education. Now we're going to talk about how you can search all of our databases at the same time, with a couple of exceptions. It's called EBSCO Discovery Service. Here is the West Library main page again. Search Everything is this button right here. It is the one that is selected by default. Also, you can go over here to where it says EBSCO Discovery Service and click there, and it will take you into EBSCO Discovery Service. Now we can type in our subject of bullying again, And as was mentioned before, once you do a search for many different topics, there's this research starter. But then underneath that, we have different kinds of resources being pulled from different databases. So for example, here, this first one is a book that's coming from our library catalog. And number 2 here is a video recording. And number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and also 11 and 12 are all ebooks or electronic books. Number 13 is an academic journal, so you can see that when you search everything, you're getting results from many different kinds of resources. Just like in all the other EBSCO databases, you can click on Advanced Search and type in a second term. Then you can limit your search to just what's called scholarly or peer-reviewed journals. What is the advantage of searching everything at once, just searching all the databases at the same time? The advantage, of course, is that you have to perform your search only one time, not multiple times in many different databases. Searching everything at once works best when your topic is very specific or very narrow. My recommendation would be to search everything and also to use the databases individually, because when you search everything, you get lots and lots of results. Many times, you're not going to go through all of the thousands of results that you get when you search everything. So a lot of times when you search in one database at a time, you find things that are near the top of the list that may have been a lot further down the list when you searched everything, and you may never have seen it. But when you search individual databases, sometimes you find things that you didn't find when you were searching everything. So there are advantages to both ways, and I would recommend using both, because most of the time when you're doing research, you're not going to do one search and that will be all your results. You have to perform many searches using different subject terms to try to complete bibliography. This ends video number 4.